Welcome to you. My name is D. Grant Smith. I am the growth farmer for personal development, and I use spirituality and spiritual lessons as well as storytelling to illustrate everything that I share with you. Have you ever wanted something so bad that you can't stop thinking about it and maybe gotten a little bit or a lot obsessed about it? And this could be anything from money or a job or a vacation or some sort of physical, tangible thing or a relationship with somebody, and you just get so enamored by it and you want it so bad, and you're praying and you're asking God every day, will you please give this to me? This is all that I want. Now, there are things that you still really, really want, and you're like, what do I do? Like, how do I go about getting this? Why is it not here? I want to tell you a little personal story and also give you some encouragement, because sometimes we're not given the things that we want so badly, so immediately, quickly, like we want it to. Even though we know that we have to live in the end, believe that it's already given to us, and persist. So in that interim phase, why does sometimes that interim phase take so long? There's all kinds of different reasons. But here's something that I have been learning and growing in my own soul journey that I want to share with you. And I don't have a big fancy introduction. I'm trusting that if you want to know more about this, you're going to stick around and watch the rest of this very short video. But here's something that keeps being confirmed to me over and over and over again. That sometimes we're not given immediately what it is that we ask for because we're not ready to receive it yet. But we don't know that we're not ready to receive it yet. We think we're always ready to receive what it is that we want. And sometimes there's different coaches and different people who say that you're always ready. You don't have to be ready. God will make you ready in the interim. But while part of that might be true, at least in my own personal story, I can say that I have not been ready for the things that I've asked for most of the time. And I've been really frustrated with God, higher self, whatever, of why tease me with this thing that you know that I want and I ask for it, but I'm not ready for it. So why even put that in front of me, as though it's like you're dangling a carrot in front of me, so I'm going to chase after it more and more. What I'm learning about is that there's a beautiful love story that's taking place in the midst of this desiring something and not being ready for it. What's actually taking place is an invitation for us to move into a different state of consciousness and move into a different way of thinking, and a different way of thinking and a different belief system, a new story. It's an invitation to move into the new story that we're given this desire. And with this desire, the realization that I can't bring the old me with me to come into this new place. What if that's a big part of what the whole Exodus story is in the Bible, of leaving the slavery in Egypt to move into the promised land? The old consciousness, the old way of thinking about things, the complaining, the grumbling, the lack of faith, that couldn't come into the promised land. There had to be a different consciousness. And so whether you look at the story as though it's literal, or you look at it from a metaphysical standpoint of we have to leave the old story behind, the old ways of thinking, the old ways of doing things, to take on a new, young, reborn form of consciousness where I don't see myself as a grasshopper anymore in the face of giants. I see myself as someone that is worthy of crossing into and having everything that I want, a land flowing with milk and honey, wealth, prosperity, abundance, happiness, success. I see myself as being worthy of that instead of seeing myself as a slave. I can't bring the slave mentality with me into the fulfillment of my dreams. And I'm learning in my own personal journey, because that's what 2023 has been like for me. I've got really big dreams and really big desires that I have been affirming and meditating on and getting into the feeling state and believing and writing this new story and living it out. But what I didn't see, because I didn't have the eyes to see until I went through this journey this year, was that I was still attached to so much of my old story. I was still attached to this version of me that said that I was less than and unworthy and going to be rejected at some point. Probably in the realm of when I'm actually starting to feel like there's a real connection taking place. I'm just going to get left, because that was my old story. That had been my old experience countless, numerous times. And I thought it was the people that I was with, but it wasn't. They were just reflecting back to me what I believed to be true about myself. Because, like Neville Goddard said, everyone is you pushed out. Everyone is reflecting your beliefs about you pushed back to you. This is why I talk about it as confidence, but really the heart and soul of what confidence is its self-concept. It is you believing fully in your own power, you believing fully in the love that you are and the love that you are worthy of receiving. And whether love is actual affection given to you by somebody else, or generosity, or blessings, or business, or prosperity, or happiness, or whatever, you're worthy of that. I was carrying an unworthiness story with me into everything that I was doing, and having these big dreams and trying to just change my mental capacities, but not realizing that the subconscious mind isn't just in the brain. The subconscious mind is also in the body, and the body holds on to energy. And I've been studying a lot of different ways of releasing and cleaning and clearing energy. Ho'oponopono is one of those things. I've got a video that I'll link up here about that. Another one is EFT tapping. If you've never done EFT tapping, you know the power of that. I've done a bit of it. I'm getting back into the practice of it, but cleaning and clearing these energetic blocks inside of me that have been hindrances because it's an old story that I was clinging onto unconsciously that kept showing up in my experiences, not just in romantic relationships, but also in friendships, also in business opportunities, also in business development things, me holding myself back, me feeling like I couldn't ask for what it is that I wanted, studying and doing all the affirmation stuff. And when it came down to test time, and test time is when you're actually in front of somebody, I would get quiet and I would tell myself, oh, I can't do this, or they're not going to, or I had this negative story in my head that I kept repeating over and over again. And what that was actually working in my favor, because it was showing me, dude, this is what it is that you want. I'm giving you an opportunity to have what it is that you want, but you're the one holding yourself back. And so you've got to choose to overcome this. You've got to choose to step into the new version of you and let the old version of you go. And that's why sometimes we're not given what it is that we want in the moment that we ask for it, because our higher self, God, the universe, whatever, is showing us, hey, this is what you really believe to be true about you. And if this is what you really believe to be true about you, this is not the same thing as the thing that you're asking for. So you got to decide, which one is it going to be? And in my own personal journey, the majority of this year, that I told myself a story that this year has been really difficult, and in a lot of ways it has, but I'm not looking at that difficulty from a negative standpoint. I'm not bitter at God like I was. I'm actually grateful, because I don't want to carry my old story with me into my wishes fulfilled and my dreams come true. I did that before. It led to divorce and a lot of heartbreak, because I was actually consciously unwilling to look at the things that were not healthy in my own consciousness. I thought that it would just take care of itself later on down the road. And I rushed into things without doing my own due diligence to make sure that I was really the person that I wanted to be, to enter into that relationship and have the relationship that I wanted to have, and that everything else was actually in alignment with my best intentions. I didn't do any of that stuff. I just said, okay, we'll figure that out later. Figuring things out later is walking into something unprepared and inviting the opposite of what it is that you want. So if there are things in your life that you are, whether you look at it as a manifestation or you look at it as goal setting, and things that you're wanting to get into and have an experience, but you are not doing your own work on your new story, your new self-concept, where you are not just writing out what it is that you want to experience, but you're seeing yourself as that person already. And you're asking yourself questions. What do I need to let go of? And what do I need to step into? This is how we transform and change our self-concept to be the person who not only has what it is that we want, but has the capacity to facilitate it and to grow it. Because we don't want to be given something that we don't have the capacity to maintain, and then we end up losing it because we're either immature or not ready for it or don't know what to do with it. If my dad had given me the red Ferrari that I wanted when I was 8 years old, A, I would have had to wait at least another 8 years before I could drive it, and B, it would be sitting around just looking good, and I'd just have to, like, wax it or whatever every day, but be still dreaming about it for another 8 years before I could do anything with it. There's a reason why I wasn't given a Ferrari by God or by my dad or by anybody. I couldn't do anything with it. And also, I didn't have the mental capacity or the emotional capacity or the mature capacity to be able to handle that kind of a gift. We have to be prepared for what it is that we're asking for. I feel like for me, this year has been a year of preparation. How about you? Has this year been a preparation year for you to step into something that you've really been wanting to experience for a really long time? It's taken me letting go of a lot of things and really shifting into a different state of mind. I talk about confidence a lot. I recognize that I didn't have confidence in myself, even though I thought I did. I had a version of confidence. I was a lot more confident than I had been before in my past life. But to do the things that I want to do, to have the life that I want to have in relationships, in romance, in business, in opportunities, in friendships, in everywhere, I had to level up my confidence level. You can see it in my eyes, you can hear it in my voice. It's a different level than it was even what you guys were watching a year ago or even 5 or 6 months ago. It's different. So what is the difference? The difference is choosing to align with what my heart actually is and not just spend so much time in my mind. Is that you too? Have you spent so much time thinking about the person that you want to be, but not feeling yourself to be that and not really connecting with your heart? I discovered there's a lion inside of my heart that I kept really quiet for a really long time and actually not given a chance to speak. When that lion got tired of being silent and being quiet, he came out. He was quite boisterous. And it was a pretty amazing experience that was a little bit scary at first, but I stepped into that scariness and stopped running away from it. And maybe you've got something inside of you that you've been running away from as well. And the reason why I'm talking about this is if I'm talking to you because there's something inside of you that you are running away from, I encourage you to stop running away, and I invite you to come in to awaken that inner lion, because that inner lion is the real you. And it doesn't matter whether you see yourself as a shy, introverted person or somebody that isn't very boisterous or charismatic, and you maybe see yourself as somebody that's very introverted, and maybe you keep yourself kind of to the side, but you really, really love people and you really want to serve people and give people things. You're a maybe even highly sensitive person or an empathic person, and you feel so deeply, but you also hold yourself back, maybe from insecurity or some sort of fear or some sort of doubt, whatever it is. Hey, I understand you. That was my story too. I'm a very highly sensitive person. I'm a very empathic person. I've always been a big giver. I've always been a big lover, but I always haven't been a big giver and lover to myself. And I held myself back for a really long time. I didn't ask for what I wanted. I let fear have the more dominant voice inside my consciousness. And when I decided to step out of that, because I was tired of feeling heartbroken, I was tired of feeling like a doormat, I was tired of feeling taken advantage of, and I was tired of just feeling like I was never getting what it was that I wanted. I gave everything that everybody else wanted. Why wasn't I getting what I wanted? When I finally got out of that mentality, and I listened to my inner self, a different sort of voice took over. And it's been a groundbreaking transformational experience for me every step along the way. And I put together an entire training program, online course that shows you how to have this kind of transformational experience too. It's called Unleash Your Inner Lion, Awaken Your Confidence and Power. And I encourage you and invite you to come in and join into it with me. Now, inside this program, it's not your typical course. Most courses are tons of really long videos that take a long time to get through, and it can seem so overwhelming. This isn't an overwhelming experience. There are a series of videos, yes, but they're relatively short, and it won't take you very long to go through because I don't like sitting through really long stuff that takes forever to go through. Plus, you know me, I love simple, I love practical, I love stuff that works. I show you exactly what I did in my life and what I've done with countless other people to transform their lives, their relationships, their courage, and their confidence. It's transformed their businesses. It's transformed their interactions with people. And best of all, it's transformed the way they see themselves. They don't see themselves as somebody that has to hold themselves back anymore. They're their full, awesome, authentic, true selves. On top of this, because I also know that we can buy courses thinking that the course itself has all the answers, and we'll start doing some of the work but not really stay consistent with it. And what we really want is the person that's teaching the course to have some sort of interaction and conversation with us, so we feel like we know what it is that we're doing and we're moving in the right direction. We've got a little bit of a checks and balances and maybe even some accountability in this process. So since I know that's what I've needed in my life, that's what it is that I'm offering you in this too. This isn't just a you buy the course but you never talk to me experience. This is a you get the course for a fraction of the cost of what I used to sell it for. I think you save like $300 or $400. Plus, I'm giving you a free coaching session to work one-on-one with me because I want to make sure that you really have taken on this new concept of yourself. You really have awakened that inner lion within you. And you really are stepping into your power and living from this place. Not the old version of you, the new version of you. Now, this special, I'm only going to have running for another little bit. About mid-December is when it's going to all end in terms of the free coaching stuff. So jump in on this now. Prepare for you to step into everything that you've been asking for and affirming for and believing in. Step into that person who has that now. I'll show you exactly how to do that, and I will even walk with you through this process. I put a link for this course and program down below. Jump in it now, get it while it's good, because enough people jump in on this, especially in the next couple weeks. I might end the special a little bit early. So you need to be one of the first people to jump in and get in on this now. Cool? All right. That is my message for you. You are being prepared. This is your preparation. What it is that you want is not some carrot that's being dangled in front of you to tease you. It's an opportunity for you to choose, who do you want to be? Do you want to be the person that has what it is that you want? If so, step into that new story. And an opportunity for you to step into the new story and be the confident person who has what it is that you want is here. Let me show you how to do that. Once again, it's unleash your inner lion. Awaken your confidence and power. Jump in right now. I love you. I believe in you, and I'll see you soon.